Ravon says we are gathered here to sip some tea. Yes, we are. Let me turn my phone off. Okay. So what you guys up to is Saturday. Somebody on what was that? On Instagram was like it's what is it? They say it's like about midnight in South Africa. I'm like, y'all be up all the time. Mute your audio, you're gonna get yourself delayed. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so I muted that. I'm gonna mute this one. Can you guys still hear me even though I muted everything? Hey Sharana. I'm like trying to talk to people on Patreon and the people on YouTube. Waiting for my tattoo appointment, scared as hell. I have, how many tattoos I have? I have about 5 tattoos, but for the most part, they're hidden. Don't be scared. Nothing like getting a good tattoo. What are you going to get, R. Parker? Hey, Melissa. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, good. Thank you, Gil. Perfect. I have a new webcam. I'm just trying to figure this out. I really want to start live streaming more, and I want to do more for my Patreon people. So that's why I'm coming on here. So what kind of tattoo are you gonna get? Okay, I'm glad y'all can hear me. My phone is going off with replies. Hey, Dark Princess. I kind of like this with like the smaller group as opposed to like 2,000 people just rushing in here at once and I can't even read the comments. A floral design on my forearm. It's going to be a 6-hour session. Wow. You're a champ. I think my longest session was probably 3 hours and that was on my foot. Trying to read these comments here. I just started. What's up, Mel Sensitivity? I literally just started like maybe 5 minutes ago. Phil Levi Show is helping me get set up. So I have people on Patreon and then some people are on in my YouTube chat section. So just trying to figure everything out. Hey, AR Grant. Hello from Atlanta. TB like 9 years later. Hey, bro, I'm going to call you. When I tell you I have been so busy, it's been crazy. I am going to call you, but I've been really busy. I'm going to put that in my phone. I'm going to put a reminder to call Gil. Hey, Domo XO. Cool beans, I found the YouTube. Okay, good. I'm glad y'all found it. Hey, T, it's late over here in Europe, so I can't stay long. I'm so proud of you and glad that you are pushing through your health issues with God's help. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's been a long struggle of a year, but I am doing much better. Hey, Dominique. Hey, Billy Wayne Coakley. Hey, T, I'm supposed to be writing to be a TV pilot for class, but I'm here trying to do both. I appreciate that. And continue writing. We need more people of color writing. You know what I'm saying? We're the only ones who can tell our story. You can't complain when other people tell our story. We need writers. We need people behind the scenes. I was just talking to my mom earlier today. She called me and she was like, you know, Black Panther, they made $1 billion. And she's like, I can't believe they made that much money. And I was explaining to her because she still doesn't really understand the whole, Hollywood concept. And so she was thinking like Lupita and Michael B. Jordan and all them are going to be like, super, super rich. I said, no, they got paid a flat fee. I said it's the people behind the scenes that are going to be making that real big money. So because Ryan Coogler was the writer, the director, he's definitely going to see a huge check. Whereas the other ones, they kind of got a flat fee for being the actors in the movie. So that's why I always encourage kids. Like, it's not so much about being in front of the camera. Learn everything that you can in the industry as far as writing, production, being a director. Learn all that stuff, because that's how you really get paid. That's why Jordan Peele was like, you know what, screw all this being in front of the camera stuff. I'm about to start writing and producing, and now he has an Oscar with Get Out. So those are my heroes right there. Like, I love people who work behind the scenes. And that's why it's hard for me to like come on and live stream. Like, I'm not used to like doing stuff live. I love editing, and I love like, behind the scenes camera work, but I'm gonna have to figure out this live streaming thing out. Okay, I'm glad you're here, Devin. I was wondering if you were able to get in. Yeah, so keep up that writing. Like, writing is wonderful. Leo B said exactly. Dark Princess said, I really like the message in the last couple of videos. T, very powerful. Male sensitivity said, get out, save my life. Thank you so much, Dark Princess. I really enjoyed coming back on camera. People were asking me like why I stopped coming on camera. And it was a lot of things going on behind the scenes that a lot of you guys just didn't know, and I really don't want to talk about because I don't want to rehash old stuff. But I was going through a lot of stuff mentally, and I just could not come on camera. It's pretty deep. I'll talk about it one day. It won't be today. But it was people like Tasha K, Jackie, Ina, Devin, my bloggers. It was a lot of people just encouraging me, like, T, you got to get back on camera. The podcasting is cool, but we miss your face. We miss your personality. And y'all know I'm always like, I'm goofy. I'm just myself. I like to crack jokes. And so they really encouraged me to, like, just start coming back on camera. And now that I've been doing it, I'm loving it again. Like the other day I went to like do a story, and I'm like, I got to get this out right now. I got to talk about this right now. And I went to do a podcast, and I couldn't even do it. I'm like, it didn't even feel right. I'm like, I don't want to do a podcast because I've been, in this flow of getting back on camera and changing my backdrops. So I was like, you know what? I'll just save everything for when I can get on camera. And that's where those powerful videos came from, Dark Princess, because I was able to just really sit and think and reflect on what I wanted to say, and then, just pull it out on camera. And yes, it took all day to shoot that content. Like, I started shooting at like 11 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get done editing my last video until 10:30 at night. So yesterday I was going to live stream. When I tell y'all, I couldn't even keep my eyes open. Like, I was exhausted. So I was like, what I didn't want to do was do a sleepy live stream or just fall asleep on you guys. So I was like, let me, go to bed, let me rest, and then I'll come here and do the live stream today. So I'm definitely loving being back on camera. So thank you guys for encouraging me to come back on camera. I'll be honest with you. Ravon said I'm a writer as well. Yes, keep writing. Billy says, yes, I actually pressed forward writing because of your videos and your courage to move to LA. Oh, wow. That's awesome. I'm so glad I could encourage you to do that, because so many of us, we don't write. One of my best friends in LA, he's a writer. And, they take advantage of, especially young black writers just coming in the game. He's had scripts stolen, and, people not paying him what he's worth. And now that he understands, his worth, he's able to negotiate better. And he runs with a lot of like different celebrities and stuff like that. So I encourage you to write. We need more writers. Me and him had a really dope conversation the other day. He was asking me how I felt about all these reboots, how I felt about the Martin reboot, how I felt about Fresh Prince possibly coming back. And, initially he was excited, and I had to break it down to him. And I was like, I'm not excited. While I'm a fan, Martin is like one of my favorite all-time comedians. Martin Lawrence's You So Crazy. I remember watching that back in junior high. I wasn't supposed to, and I snuck and watched it. And I've always been a huge fan of Martin. The show was like a part of my childhood. Same with Fresh Prince. But my thing is this. I feel like it's lazy. I feel like doing a reboot is lazy. You get what I'm saying? Why not use fresh faces? I don't want to know what Martin and Gina are doing 20 years later. Tommy Strong is dead. I don't want Brother Man crawling through the windows in his 50s. Like, I'm just, not trying to knock their project before I see it. But I feel like, they've made their money, they've made their impact in the game. Help the next generation. Sorry, that was my brush. Let me brush my weave. But no, real talk. Help the next generation. Like, think about it, you guys. Imagine if, let's say the popular shows from like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Imagine if, Good Times was like, oh no, we refuse to just go off the air. We're just going to do a reboot of Good Times. It's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Everything has a reason and a season. And once your season is over, you move on and you help the next generation. I don't want to see a reboot of Good Times. I don't want to see a reboot of Amen, of 227. These shows paved the way for there to be a Martin, for there to be a Fresh Prince. So I feel like, as them being the elders in like the TV show game, they should be, tapping these young writers out here in Hollywood and creating whole new projects. You know what I'm saying? Like how Blackish is a whole new project. They need to do that. I'm tired of the reboots. I'm tired of the remakes. There's too many people out here putting in work who have fresh ideas, who have not been heard, and they need to be heard. They need to have their projects picked up. We say we want to see black, movies made and black entrepreneurs and black writers and, positive imagery. Well, there's people out here writing that stuff, but they need a chance. And it seems like a lot of the older people in the industry, once they become famous, they don't want to let that go. I mean, look at Wendy Williams. This lady is literally passing out. She's sick. She has grave disease, but she's not going to leave her platform to somebody like me because it's like, God forbid, I, outshine her or somebody else outshines her. It's like once people get into a certain position, they don't want to help other people. And I've never been that type of person. When I seen Tasha K coming up, I was proud of her. Like, I reached out to her like, sis, there's no competition here. I'm not stuck up. I'm not mean. Regardless of what people think, I reach out to other content creators and I talk to a lot of people behind the scenes and I work with a lot of people and I encourage them. And I think that's what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of disappointed that all these older actors, and older TV shows want to make reboots instead of trying to help the next generation. But sorry, I'm on my damn soapbox. Let me read the comments. Oh my goodness. Yeah, last year was crazy. You went through a lot of BS. I did. I went through a lot. Martin was one of the dopest ever. I agree. We need fresh ideas. Martin and Fresh Prince had their times. Thank you, Mr. Male Sensitivity. It's the truth. Like, we need fresh ideas. Like, if I want to watch Martin, I want to watch the original. Like, I literally watch Martin or Fresh Prince every night. You know what I'm saying? So you can always watch them on Nick at Night and stuff like that. I don't want a new version of that. I want something new and fresh. I want there to be other characters that my kids can look up to. Like, they'll go back and they watch those shows. They love Family Matters. They still laugh at Steve Urkel. Like, I want a new Steve Urkel. You know what I'm saying? Not a reboot of Family Matters. Unless the new Fresh Prince is Jaden. No, I don't want to see Jaden on television. Sweet kid, but I don't want to see him on television. He's a bit extra, but his new song bangs though. My son has his album and, he likes it. So he has some pretty good music. But I don't want to see him on TV. You like the straight hair? Thank you. I will be starting a new... Sharon says, I'm sorry, Shanora says, I will be starting my own YouTube channel hopefully this year. What advice do you have for newcomers? As far as starting your own YouTube channel, this is what I will say. Do what makes you happy. Talk about the stuff that you want to talk about. Also, don't cater to low-hanging fruit. Me and Jay Miller talk about this all the time. And that's my mentality. I refuse to cater to low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? The ones who just want to sit and make anonymous videos, complaining and ranting all day. The ones who don't put any work into their videos, into their editing, into, just their production value is shit. They're literally just sitting in a dark room. There's no lighting, just complaining all day about the white man and how horrible this world is. Don't be one of those YouTubers, okay? If you really want to flourish on the platform, you have to stay true to yourself and you have to talk about things that you really want to talk about. And I would also say, don't try and be like anybody else. Don't copy anybody else's style. That's like my biggest pet peeve. People be like, oh, such and such is copying you. You should be flattered. No, bitch, I'm not flattered. Imitation is not the, sincerest form of flattery. Imitation is bullshit and it's a lazy way out. Don't bite anybody else's style. Don't bite anybody else's beats, the way people do their stuff. Do you, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes people come to people's channels. What attracts people to your channel is going to be your personality. So you can't, build your whole channel on trying to be like Lovely T or Jackie Ina or Philip DeFranco or, Philip Vice Show. You have to be yourself. And once you're yourself and, you're able to put out your content, people will come. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting out good content and you're being yourself and you have a personality, people will watch. So, I mean, it's not hard to start a YouTube channel. What's hard is to keep people coming back time and time again. I've been doing this for years and there's not necessarily a secret, but one thing about me is that I'm myself. I'm not perfect. People clown me all the time about me mispronouncing stuff, and I remember before I used to be really insecure. I've talked about this before because the thing is, when you're on set, like I've been on set with Tyra Banks, right? So when Tyra Banks was doing that new talk show with the four co-hosts, we were on set with her. And I used to think that Tyra Banks was like just, this perfect, eloquent speaker. And when I watched her literally do 20 takes and there's people in her ear telling her how to pronounce stuff and the things to say, that let me know that nobody is perfect. I don't have a whole team of people. I don't have a showrunner. I don't have a headset where somebody's telling me, oh, it's pronounced, I have mispronounced, what was it? I had said like Ghanaians instead of saying Ghanaians. Like I know that people are called Guyanans, whatever. I'm sorry, but I had mispronounced. I had said Ghanaians instead of Ghanaians, and so people were like getting on me about that. But you got to realize when you're shooting something live, words just come out and they just flow, and sometimes you don't catch your mispronunciations. And I have one rule when I edit: when I mispronounce something, I leave it. That's my rule. Y'all got to realize I'm my editor. I don't send my videos out to be edited by some company. So I hear every mispronunciation. I hear every mistake. But why I keep them in there? I keep them in there to show y'all I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be on here like I'm Oprah. I'm not trying to speak to y'all like I have, 25 degrees and I'm a Harvard graduate. I'm just me, you know what I'm saying? So how the words come out, whatever I say is just what it is. Y'all know what the hell I damn mean any damn way. So I'm not about to sit here and just edit stuff to death and make myself be this perfect package because I'm not, and I'll never forget some of the best advice I got from Dr. Drew. I was on H&L News like a few years ago and I was talking to him and his producers and I was asking them, I said, do you think I will be able to make it on YouTube? Do you think my channel will go anywhere? Do you feel like I'm articulate enough? Am I good enough to be doing what I'm doing? And his producers told me, he said, the thing about you is that you're raw. You're yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not perfect. You're not trying to be Oprah. You're just T. And they're like, be yourself. Don't worry about, being so perfect and articulate. They're like, there's people who tell us what to say. And that's the joy of being on YouTube, is that it's just in its purest form. So just remember that when you start making videos, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to not know everything. I'm not a walking thesaurus. I don't even know if I said that word right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a walking thesaurus. I'm not a walking dictionary. I'm just a person with an opinion. You know what I mean? And I think that's why people gravitate towards me, and I think that's why people like my content, is because I'm just myself. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be. And what you see is what you get, and it is what it is. Let me read some of these comments. I see a lot of people coming in here. Thank you. So P. Simone says your authenticity resonates with your viewers and audience members. Thank you so much. And that's what I strive for. Hey, African Queen. I think we need some fresh greatness and entertainment in black and not the black reboots. Oh, the GOAT shows cannot be replaced. Correct. I'm glad you like the advice, Sharona. Shanora. I'm sorry. Yeah, you have to just be yourself. You have to, and it's not easy. I'll never lie and act like, I'm 100% comfortable in my skin and I don't have my insecurities, especially when people pick you apart 24/7. We're all human. So it's like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I called my mom the other day and I was talking to her and I was like, do you know I can get like surgery on my eyes to make my eyes look smaller and to remove like this puffiness under my eyes? I got big eyes. And she was like, why would you want to do that? I was like, I just, I'm just saying. Like, there's all types of stuff you can do to just like change yourself. And she was like, your eyes have been big since like you were born. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I love your eyes. Just embrace them. So sometimes I need to like get reminders from like my mom and like my family because if you let the trolls get to you, they will like literally try and tear your soul apart. They were like, you fucking big eyed bitch. And it's like, leave me alone. Like I know my eyes aren't big, you know what I'm saying? But you just have to have good people in your corner that let you know that you're okay just the way you are because social media is the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like people wake up on the wrong side of the bed just to like tear you apart and just to make you feel bad about yourself. That's why I wish like we could like see a lot of these anonymous trolls, so that way we could pick them apart the same way they love picking other people apart. That's why I feel like on my platform too, like even when I talk about celebrities and stuff like that, I never have to go in on people's looks. You can always talk about their behavior and the things that they've done. I think when you're going in on people's looks or their weight, I think that's like the easy route. It's easy to drag somebody and be like, whatever you don't like about their particular characteristic. But it's a lot harder to go past that and dig deep into like what your real issue is with them on their behavior. So I always keep it on that level. You know what I'm saying? But I know that with social media you have that dark side where people like the dragging and people like the negativity, and that's why Kaya was able to blow up as quickly as she was on the Queen's Court because a lot of that was just straight dragging people just ruthlessly, you know what I'm saying? And while it can be funny, I can also see like how that can have a negative effect because then you have a lot of young girls, that's how they respond to a lot of stuff, is like with just negativity and dragging people and going for the jugular instead of like just really thinking logically without having to tear somebody apart. Dark Princess says my eyes are big too. Thank you so much. Simone says you're gorgeous. Hey Moa Muma. I don't know if I said that right. You are beautiful, T. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it can be very hard. It's like no matter what we do on social media, we get picked apart. I wear my real hair. I'm everything but a child of God. I wear a weave. I'm a hair-hatted hooligan. So, at the end of the day, I just have to do what makes me comfortable. You have to do you at the end of the day. You can't live for other people. So, once again, don't cater to low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Cater to yourself. Talk about the topics that you want to talk about. And, yeah, male sensitivity, you're right. It was definitely based on foolishness. You see how quickly the Queen's Court fell apart. Yep. Gil says, when it comes to you, I say slay trolls. Well, every now and then it gets tiresome too. Yeah, it fell apart, and I knew it was gonna fall apart just for the fact that they were on two different pages. You have if you're whenever you do a partnership with somebody, you have to be on the same page. And they were just two totally different people trying to make this whole cohesive, oneness, and it just didn't work for them. Kaya is not about the mainstream. She's extremely angry and she feels some type of way about the industry. So she's not here to kiss the industry's ass. She's not here looking for friends. Whereas T.S. Madison really wants to be a part of the industry. So to me, I never understood them even really collaborating and trying to come together because you could tell they were on two total different wavelengths. And that's why I said for me, that's why I don't do a lot of collaborations with people. You have to have people that you really connect with, and you guys have to be on the same page. And I've seen too many people on YouTube, especially like I said before in the beauty community, honey, they'll start, with the same amount of subscribers, let's say 20,000. And then they'll start wanting to do collabs, and it's like, oh, you're so pretty, oh, you're so pretty too. And then you'll see them shopping at the mall and doing their little live streams together and meeting up for lunch. And it's like everything's good for like the first 2 to 3 months. And then, like, literally after that, let's say one starts getting more subscribers or fans like this particular creator better than this other one, then that's where that ego comes into play. And then they end up beefing and falling out. And I don't engage in that, you know. And I guess for me, because I am an older, you know, YouTuber, you know, I have kids. So that's my thing. Like, I always think before I do anything, before I get myself involved in anything I'm becoming, I have to think about these boys. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of YouTubers have little babies. They have, like, you know, 1, 2, 3 year olds. I have a 17-year-old son. You know what I mean? So it's like, not only is he on social media, his friends are on social media. A lot of his friends follow me. My youngest son, you know, a lot of his friends follow me. So it's like, I just have to be kind of mindful. I always keep that in the back of my mind. You know, would I be comfortable with another person behaving this way and my kids watching them? So that's one of the things that kind of just keeps me grounded, and that's why I just don't involve myself with a lot of other YouTubers per se, or, you know, do a lot of collaborations. I never want to get myself in a situation where it ends up being drama and I'm having to go back and forth on video with somebody, or I invite somebody into my life, or let them know about me and my children and just, you know, my whole, you know, being and what's going on in my life, only for them to turn their back on me. I'm very serious when it comes to loyalty, and I keep my circle very, very small for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very loyal person, and once I consider you a friend, I consider you a friend for life. So I don't use that word friend lightly. I have a lot of associates, but I don't use the word friend lightly. So I don't have the type of personality where I can just, you know, hang with this person this day, you know, this person is my best friend, and then I'm with this person next week, and this person is my best friend. I don't get down like that, and I don't understand how other people do that. They go from click to click, YouTuber to YouTuber. It's exhausting, you know, but bless their heart. Let me read some of these comments. African Queen says, keep being you and love that about your channel. That's why I donate to you. Please don't change, but evolve. Yes, I don't always agree, but I love your originality. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate it. Ravon says, I love that you state your opinion no matter what, and that you investigate your content before you put it out. Before you put out what's trending. I swear I love you, T. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm totally fangirling for Auntie T. Please do a meet and greet in North Carolina, in Raleigh or Charlotte. Hey, Nia Hart. I will be back in Charlotte this year. One of my really good friends, she's older. She's like a mother to me. When I lived in Charlotte, I didn't have any family. I was going through a lot in my early 20s after I had my son. I was just going through a lot with my family, and I just literally took my son, my ex-husband, and we just packed up and left. And we went to North Carolina. We didn't know nobody. Just showed up in North Carolina. We were like, where are we going to move to? North Carolina or Atlanta? And we figured, let's start with North Carolina because it's a little bit slower. So we moved down there, and I eventually got a job working corporate and stuff like that. And I was in the Carolinas for 10 years. And the people there became like family. You know, so this woman, she's like a mother to me. When I tell you that was my second mom, I mean, she threw my baby shower. She threw a surprise baby shower for me when I was pregnant with my son. And it was in Ryan's, and she literally had all my coworkers there. And I had no idea because nobody, you know, ever threw any surprise for me at all. And I remember that I was so tired, and my ex-husband got me out, and I show up, and I just literally broke down crying in the middle of the restaurant because like nobody has ever done that for me. And she, you know, like my North Carolina family, they've just been so supportive from day one of me YouTubing, and they're just so proud. They're like, we watch you on break, and, you know, you be having me cracking up at work. So, like, I still have so many friends in the Carolinas. So she is having her birthday party this year. She's turning 50. So I will be down there. I will be in the Carolinas in August. So maybe I can do a small meet and greet while I'm down there. But she told me a few months back, and I was like, I'm there, because she was there for me at my worst moments. When I'd be in the hospital, she'd be there. Honey, when I tell you they tried to take my baby from me one time because I was sick in the hospital. My husband had to work, and so the kids were in the hospital room with us. And so, but I was sick. Like, I was like on really heavy pain medications. And so they try to call like DSS and shit, like, oh, she has her kids in the hospital, she has no family, and they were trying to put my kids in foster care. And so I remember I called her, I called my babysitter. I'm like, they're trying to take my kids. Y'all got to come to the hospital, come get my boys, because my baby was probably like a few months at the time. My son was probably like 4. When I tell you, literally 10 people showed up to the hospital, like, y'all's not taking her kids. We got them. And so the babysitter kept my oldest, and the person whose birthday party I'm going to, she kept the youngest one. No, actually, no, she kept the oldest. The babysitter kept the youngest one. And so they kept them while I was in the hospital for that week. So when I tell you, like, I'm so close to people in the Carolinas, like, as much, yes, granted, there's side chicks in Charlotte, but there's also a lot of good people, so I love the Carolinas. That will always be my second home. So somebody says, do you have any advice for starting a business? Sharana says, I like your wisdom during your commentary. Nia says, I'm stationed here and you're a great distraction from my hectic, stressful lifestyle. I really appreciate you and the escape from reality. Let us know. I will drive 3 hours in a heartbeat. No, definitely. You know, and that's why that's why I'm to the point now where I'm keeping my topics more light. My news channel was totally demonetized. I know people keep asking, when are you gonna talk on your news channel? It's been demonetized, and I'm not going. And right now with the changes on YouTube, like we don't have the option right now to even wave the waters. Okay, like let me just keep it real. Like, YouTube is a big part of my life. It's a stress reliever. It's where I go to talk to you guys. My comment section is like my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love YouTube. Yes, they put us through a lot of BS. Yes, there's a lot of nonsense that goes on. But I don't know what I would do without my channel, period. So it's to the point now where they're just really cracking down on people. Like, Black Child, who is one of my favorite conspiracy theorist channels, he literally woke up like 2 weeks ago and his channel was gone. Okay, he had to recreate a whole new channel. They have been snatching channels left and right on YouTube. So right now, the ball is in their court. This is their platform. They want only certain things talked about, and other things, they're not here for it. So in order to keep, my channel running and keeping my stuff afloat, I have to abide by what they want. And for them, they're more into like the celebrity news, the pop culture. So that's what I'm sticking to. I'm not really trying to hit on a lot of those serious topics because, one, they're not getting approved. And y'all can say, okay, well, it's demonetized. But the problem is when they demonetize it, they also bury it. Okay, so it's like you're putting in all this work for your stuff to not even be seen. So it's not even so much about them taking the money. They bury the videos where they're not coming up in searches. They'll make them unlisted. They'll make them private behind your back. So they're doing a lot of really shady stuff when you talk about certain topics. So, and I just don't have time for the headache. It's the most frustrating thing when you put in, an hour to shoot something and then 4 hours to edit it, only for it to not only be demonetized, but to be buried. And I'm not going to do that. So for me, I'm just going to stick to more lighthearted topics. So I'm glad that these topics that I talk about, I'm glad you guys are still sticking in there and you guys like them. And I'm glad that you guys are also able to take away some of like the wisdom and the things that I say from those topics. Like, even though they're light and even though celebrity news, I always try and drop some jewels in there because I think that when you talk about things like that, yeah, you can talk about, okay, yeah, Kylie had a baby and her baby's pretty. That's superficial, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's kind of get down to the meat and potatoes. Like, okay, Kylie had a baby, but don't you run out there and go have a baby young thinking you're going to be like Kylie. Her situation is definitely different. Her being a young mom is not the same as me being a young mom and my struggles that I went through. So those are like the type of jewels that I try and drop when I do talk about these celebrity news stories. I don't try and just make them superficial. I still try and drop some jewels in there. So I'm glad that they're able to take you away from all the hecticness that you're going through on base. I love the name The Tea Hive. I definitely love that name. So Dark Princess says, Some people turn on their friends so much, but I love my friend and I could never fight. I'm a really kind person. Male sensitivity says people you can depend on are hard to find, especially as you get older. Gil says awesome testimony. Hey Fifi Art, I love your show. I'm a proud tea sipper. Oh, that's awesome. And male sensitivity, you are so right. The older you get, that's the one thing I hate the most about, getting older. Your friends circle gets even smaller. It's insane. I gotta get some water. Excuse me. But yeah, your friend circle gets really small as you get older. Like I see my boys, and both of them, they have a lot of friends. I mean, kids come by all the time, and that's part of being young, especially when you're like in school, high school, elementary, junior high. And I remember there was a time in my life, like, I don't care if I was going to the Mall of America. Like, we're rolling 10 deep. You know what I'm saying? Me and my homegirls, like, if we're walking up to the Midway, if we're going to downtown Minneapolis, like, we're like 10 deep. And then it's like as you get older and you have kids and you start a family and you get married, it's like those friends start to kind of dissipate because either they're doing their own thing, they're, starting their own families. So it's like as you get older, honey, if you can hold on to at least three good friends, you're doing wonderful, because it's very hard as you get older to like have really sincere genuine friends. Like if you were to have a flat tire, do you have a friend that you can call right now at 1 o'clock in the morning and they will come out there, you know what I'm saying, and help you change your tire or call AAA? Like those are the type of friends you need when you're older. When you're going through stuff. When you're younger, the type of friends you need is just a whole variety. You need that one funny friend. You need that one friend that can fight her ass off in case some shit pop off. She gonna have your back. She gonna be ready to fight everybody for you. And I had a really good friend like that in the 8th grade, and she recently found me. And we've been just like, I swear, we've been picking up right where we left off in 8th grade. But she always went hard for me. Like she was just like, she had a really rough, family life. She really did. She's been through a lot, and she's going through a lot now with her kids and stuff like that. But she was always like just one of those really loyal friends, because I was like an itty bitty thing. So she always like had my back. Like, if you trying to whoop her ass, I'm about to jump in. You're not about to fight my friend. Well, you got to fight both of us. Like, she was like that type of friend, you know what I'm saying? And, and she's still a good friend. And it was just so good running into her like recently. Like, we just been like just catching up on our life over the past, 10, 15 years. So it's been crazy. But yeah, definitely as you get older, your friend base gets smaller. So, keep those genuine friends with you. Those ones who will go to bat for you, for your kids. The ones that you can call on, like when you're going through it, you can call them and cry. Because one thing about me, I'm quick to cut somebody off. Because for me, a genuine friendship is a two-way street. And if I'm the one doing all the giving, and every time you call me with your problems, I'm there to listen to you on top of my busy life and everything I'm doing. But then when I'm going through some real shit, you're not there for me, I got to cut you off. And I found that out with one of my longtime friends. When I went through the situation I went through this spring, it was like she showed me her true colors. You know what I'm saying? And this was somebody I had known for years. And this was somebody I thought was a really good friend. But when you're going through stuff, you will find out who your real friends are quick, fast, and in a hurry. And when I saw that she wasn't a real, genuine friend and that she didn't have my back and that, she was almost blaming me for a situation that had nothing to do with me, that was beyond my control, I had to chuck that bitch to deuces. You know what I'm saying? So we're no longer friends. I wish her well, but it is what it is. But then that situation also made me become a lot closer to a lot of people who I didn't think would necessarily have my back, who just really stepped up to the plate and were there for me when I was going through a lot of the nonsense I had to go through last spring. I'm getting so many messages. Oh, okay. Let me read some more of these comments. Oh, yeah, somebody was saying something about a business. Hold on, let me go back. I have great friends, but we live on different continents. I'm still grateful, though. I know that's right. I'm an introvert. I can't roll 10 deep anyways unless it's a party or something. You'll still have to drag me there. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. And I think sometimes you get older, you become more introverted. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, when you're young, I don't know. When I was young, we used to roll deep everywhere. It used to always be like a clique of us. But now it's like that I'm older, honey, I be solo dolo. Like, I'll be at the mall. I'm just always somewhere by myself. Like, people will find me at the most random places, like, aren't you lovely T? What are you doing here? I'm like, living life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you expect me like walking around with like security guards or something, or with a bunch of people, but it's just usually me in like random places. Nia says, you're a great mom. Why would they try and take your kids? The government is also quick to break up families. Yeah, they are. It was so foul. And the doctors, they were foul for even like trying to like co-sign this, And I understand I was sick at the time and I was on medication. But it's like, if I don't have a sitter, I'm not going to keep my 4-year-old and my baby in the house by themselves. So if I'd have let them in the house by themselves, I wouldn't have been shit. So I bring them to the hospital and they're still mad. But whatever. My coworkers had my back, my babysitter had my back, and everybody came through when I needed them. So it worked out in the end. Nope. Are you able to talk about other topics without being on YouTube's radar? Nope. YouTube is if y'all don't know right now, Alex Jones is going through it. They're trying to snatch his channel from him. And Alex Jones has been on YouTube forever. He's always talked about his conspiracies and everything. If they can go after Alex Jones, who am I? I'm just some, little black girl on YouTube. So it's just like, unfortunately, they're just going after a lot of people. So we just have to be really careful, with the certain things that we talk about and the certain topics that we hit on, So for me, I'm just more comfortable just talking about the topics I've been hitting on lately because it just seems more like a safe space and YouTube hasn't been, messing with me as much. There's still certain things that they will demonetize, but for the most part, they've kind of fallen back on that. Because there was a point, like, it seemed like every fourth video I put up, the fourth one be demonetized. So like these three would be okay, the fourth one be demonetized, and it's like, well, damn, what is going on? So they've kind of slowed down from that a little bit, but you just never know. And that's why it's like at this point in time, I don't want to just depend on YouTube. That's why I'm trying to like venture off into different businesses. That's why I'm starting my tea line, doing the merchandise thing. Plus, I'm an editor for real on the side. So I'm always doing freelance work where I'm editing for like different companies, different events. So, that's why a lot of times I'm busy, not just dealing with YouTube, but outside of YouTube as well. So it's a lot of things I'm doing outside of YouTube just to like have money generating from like different things. But to the person who was talking about starting a business, hey Cassandra, I didn't get a chance to shout your name out. So she says, do you have any advice for starting a business? I would say as far as starting a business, it has to be something that you're passionate about. Don't just start a business just because you see it's popular. And that's one thing I've noticed with social media, especially Instagram. Like, for example, a few years ago, it was all about the waist trainers. Okay, so you had Prima Donna. She started the whole waist trainer gang, and she had Kim Kardashian, Amber Rose, and other weren't her waist trainers. And then you had a bunch of other people jump on the whole waist trainer thing, and they start their own little waist trainer companies. Just like with the hair weaves, everybody has a hair weave company. Portia, Kia Kayor, I mean, not Kia, Kaisha Kayor is selling weave, and everybody's selling weave. You got to find something different. You know what I mean? Just like with me, when I decided to like really go into this whole tea business situation, what I was not going to do was sling no flat tummy tea. I'm not slinging anything to like detox you. I want y'all to enjoy my tea. I don't want it to be a situation where y'all's drinking the tea and now you're stuck on the toilet for the next week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not healthy. So I really want to take it seriously. So whatever business that you're interested in starting, make sure it's your passion. Make sure it's something that you know about whatever you're trying to start. Like if it's a clothing line, if it's a food business, it needs to be something that's well researched, that you can speak on and that you can stand behind. Don't just jump on like the next fad, like everybody trying to sell hair weave and bundles. You know what I'm saying? That is saturated right now. So you got to find something that's not saturated that people will still like, and that basically incorporates a little bit of yourself into that business. Another thing I would say too is it's better to have an online business than a brick and mortar. Meaning, that you'll save more, especially if you're just starting out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of business you're trying to start, Cassandra, if you're still here, if you want to say something. But I think starting an online business is a little bit easier because it's online and it's a lot less overhead. So I would recommend that. And then if your online business starts booming, like let's say you start a t-shirt business and your shirts are selling and you're making a lot of money off of it, then at that point you can invest in a brick and mortar spot, like let's say at the mall or on the beach or just wherever, and then start selling your clothing line or your shirts from a brick and mortar spot. But until you're able to afford that or afford that rent, I think the online world is a good option. But I'll be the first to say that, and I've had to consciously retrain myself because I've gotten so caught up in this whole online world and shopping online. Um, I'm a big Amazon fan. Don't judge me. I know Jeff Bezos has his issues, and I know the people who work there. They're under a lot of pressure. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I like my stuff here quickly, but I had to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? I had to literally train myself now. Like, okay, like the other day I was looking for mini contour things, like contour, what do they call them? I'm so not a makeup person. Contour sponges. Okay, I have the big one, but I wanted a mini one so I can kind of get in my nose and all that stuff, right? So I go onto Amazon and they had them there and they're like, they can be here in 2 days and they're $6.99. And I'm like, okay, do you really need to buy something like this off of Amazon when you can literally get your ass up, get in the car, and drive to Target, drive to Walmart, drive to, Walgreens, and go buy this in the store for the same price? And that's what I did. I went to Target and I ended up buying it there. So the reason why I'm saying that is that a lot of times, because we're so comfortable with the online, we forget to patronize our brick and mortar buildings. And you have a lot of buildings closing down, you have a lot of companies closing down. And that's another thing that kind of bothers me with Amazon. It's because of the Amazons and the monopoly that they hold on, to like the whole merchant industry, that a lot of businesses, failed. When Amazon started making their books so cheap, you had brick and mortar bookstores. They could no longer compete, and that's why Borders Books ended up shutting down and all these other bookstores. Now, when I was in high school, that was like my sanctuary, was going to the library, going to Borders Books. Wouldn't buy shit because I ain't had no damn money, but I would go there and read their books. I'd be in Borders for literally 2-3 hours, just reading books. Don't judge me. I was a broke kid, okay? But I love Borders, you know what I'm saying? And to see they're not even around really is just sad. There's a lot of bookstores that are not around anymore due to Amazon having a monopoly on so many things. So, if there is a local mom and pop shop or a business in your area, try to patronize it, as often as you can, especially if it's a black business, because they definitely struggle, and I know even during my Black Panther event, what I did, I went and I found different local African shops, and I was sending out, mass text messages and email blasts. If you want to get a dashiki, if you want to get a head wrap, go here, go patronize this business, you know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, they're not getting a lot of business throughout the weeks, throughout the months, and stuff like that. So while online is good, don't forget to also patronize these brick and mortar spots so that way they don't close down. And that was one of the big things why I wanted to really support the theater where I had the event at, because I really like their theater and the fact that they changed everything around. Because a lot of these old movie theaters, the reason why a lot of them are closing down is due to streaming and Netflix and people bootlegging movies, and a lot of people just feeling like, what, I'm just more comfortable in my house than going out to a movie. So what they did, and I know a lot of theaters in LA do this too, they have the reclining chairs. You can eat there. So you can there's a section of that movie theater where you can order dinner, and I'm talking about straight up meals, not just popcorn and pop. I'm talking about sandwiches, pasta, fish fries. They have fish fry Fridays. Like they changed their whole practice around just to bring more people into their movie theater. And I just really respected that because a lot of people are not going to be paying, you know, 14, 15, $16 just to sit upright in a seat and be uncomfortable, and they're having to sneak food in and everything else. Whereas this movie theater was more relaxing. You could recline back, you could order food, you could bring food in the theater. So a lot of companies are having to adjust their style because of social media, because of the internet. Let me read some more comments. See here. Hey, singing superstar forever. So she says, "Hey T, I love watching your videos. Your videos are insightful and thought provoking while being entertaining at the same time. Keep up the great work." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Gil said, "Facts. Now we want to be one deep." And that's the truth as you get older. Okay, Mr. Male Sensitivity, thank you for stopping through. I appreciate it. R. Parker says, Barnes and Nobles in my area got taken down. It was honestly depressing when I found out. God help me if the record stores completely die out. Yeah, the record stores are all, you know, a lot of those are going out as well. Let's see here. Nia says, I like hearing you talk about the whole wokish colorism. It's something that's been fascinating lately because I think you're one of the first people to point it out to me that not all black people have the same experience, and some of us secretly still don't embrace the beauty of our Africanness. It takes the seed of awareness like the one you planted in my head for people to realize how strong we are. Yes, that's the truth. You know, as far as, you know, like the whole colorism thing, you know, a lot of people really got upset with me when I was doing those series, when I was talking about Cardi B and just colorism and stuff like that. And, you know, I took in a lot of people's points because, you know, I like to hear a lot of people's point of views. One thing is we all grew up differently. And one thing I will say about the internet is that you get a chance to kind of peek into how people grew up. So my experience is my experience and your experience is your experience. And I know sometimes on the outside looking in, we can think that somebody has it better than somebody else, but that's not always the case. Up until I started coming online, I had assumed that every dark-skinned girl went through colorism and were made fun of and, you know, hated their brown skin, because I went through a lot where I grew up. You know, I grew up in the Twin Cities. The majority of the people, the females, well, let me see. Twin Cities is one of the biggest, you know, melting pots in the country. There's a lot of biracial and light-skinned people here. Like literally all of my friends are either biracial or mixed. That's just how it is in the Twin Cities. A lot of white people here. You know, there's not as many black folks. A lot of black folks get with white people, you know, so on and so forth. Okay, so it's like a really mixed population of people. So you don't see a lot of, like, you know, full black, you know, full African people. I'm not saying that there's not any that are here. There are. But the majority of people here tend to be multiracial in the Twin Cities. So I went through a lot growing up dealing with that and having that complex, and people always acting like, you know, if they wanted to throw a dig at me, the first thing they always went to was my skin tone, right? So growing up in that environment, you assume that everybody who's dark skinned went through that. Well, I didn't know until I came onto YouTube and I started, you know, reading my subscribers' stories, and other dark-skinned girls were like, no, I didn't experience colorism, or nobody made fun of my skin tone growing up, or people love my brown skin. So I love that dynamic that, you know, we can learn so much. Or even me finding out that there were light-skinned girls who had it just as bad as I did on the opposite end of the spectrum. Maybe they grew up in Atlanta, where most of the people in Atlanta are black, you know. Most of the people down there are more darker skin tone. So if you're the mixed person in that community or the light-skinned person in that community, well, now you're being picked on and your features are being pointed out. So it's almost like the opposite of what happened to me. So I would say that I learned a lot from my audience, you know, hitting on the colorism aspect and seeing that, you know, we're all different people. We were all raised differently. We all come from different walks of life. So I just always thought that it was just really interesting to find that out. But it's the ones who want to deny it that just kind of get on my nerves. The ones who want to act like it's just this, made up thing. Like, you guys just want to complain about something to complain. No, I mean, it's a real situation. It's something that really happens to people. And I think I think my videos and I think Chrissy and other people who address colorism, and I think people just being honest and having an open discussion about it, I think it's made it more okay to talk about it now in the mainstream because now you've noticed the whole colorism aspect has now come off of YouTube and now it's being spoken about on television, on radio and things like that. But the bad side to that, what I don't like is the whole woe is me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that aspect of it. Like, oh, woe is me, I'm dark, so I'll never amount to nothing. No, that's no different than saying, woe is me, I'm black, so I can't make it in this world. Like, don't use that as a way to, as a hindrance. Use that to make you stronger. You know what I'm saying? Use that as a way to, break the mold and show somebody that you can, like to not judge you because of what's on the outside, but to give you a chance and to see your full potential. And that goes for any skin tone. And, I always find it funny that a lot of light skinned girls think that I don't like light skinned females. Like, if you guys were to ever see my mother, and I think that's where another complex come from. My mother is light skinned. Me and my mother are nowhere near the same complexion. Like, people are always surprised when they see my mom. Like, damn, that's your mom? My mom is short, thick, and light skinned. I'm tall, dark, and sexy. So no, I don't have any issues with light skinned people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about my particular experience. I have a light skinned mom. My kids are light skinned. You know what I'm saying? I'm the darkest one in the house. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have no issues with anybody's complexion. I'm just talking about, just different situations. So I want to make that clear to people, like, I'm usually the darkest one out of all my friends. Like, all my friends, for the most part, are light skinned. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing there. If you're a good person and you're a genuine person, that's what I base stuff on. I don't base stuff off of your complexion, your skin tone, your race. You know what I'm saying? Some of my bestest friends aren't even black. You know what I mean? I have friends of all colors, all races that I've been close with for like damn near 10, 15 years. And they would go to bat for me like nobody else. So that's why I can never get on my platform and be on this fake, woke, I hate white people are the devil, I hate Asians, and it's all about, black folks. Like, I find that just so, it's just funny. It's like, so do you just stay in your house 24/7? You don't see people of other races? So you've never had to deal with a white person in your life? You've never had to deal with a Mexican in your life? I don't know. I just find that mentality just funny. And I feel like people who have that mentality, a lot of that is just for the internet. It's just to get views. It's just for shock factor. I think in the real world, people act definitely differently. You can act anyway behind a computer, behind the safety of the internet, behind the safety of a blank screen and just doing a voiceover. But in the real world, you have to act accordingly. You can't just go up and just start popping off to somebody because there can be real consequences for that. Just like, people who are racist, when you have like these racist rednecks on YouTube, spewing BS and talking mess. Yeah, it sounds good on the computer, but in the real world, you're not going to run up to a black person and just, pop off like that. You're going to think twice. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people do and say things online that they're not necessarily practicing in the real world. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that, I don't know. You can't, I don't know. To me, it just comes off as fake when people act like they have no interaction with other races, but yet and still, YouTube is not your full-time job. So do you own your own business or are you clocking in on the white man's clock? I mean, please explain. How are you eating? How are you taking care of yourself? Do you not go to the grocery store? Do you not, you don't see other races when you're out and about? So I've never been one to get onto that type of, to have that type of mentality towards people. I feel like I have to judge people based on how they treat me, how they treat my family, and most of all, how they, treat other people. Because sometimes people can be cool with you just because you're who you are, but I need to see how you interact with other people and how you deal with other people as well. Let me read these comments. They're coming through. Hey, MBC 1257. They're saying YouTube wants all PC content. They do. They really do. Gil says, great point. Everyone has their own story. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been on here for an hour and 18 minutes. I'm having so much fun chopping up with y'all. Thank you for the business advice. Oh, you're so welcome. Ravon says, "What's your favorite books, T?" My favorite books are God Don't Like Ugly 1 and God Don't Like Ugly 2. The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. The autobiography of Malcolm X. I love that. Untangling the Roots of Black Hair in America and Be More Careful. Those are like some of my top favorite books. And what's so crazy is this woman named Mandy Stadmeyer. She works for the Daily Beast and she's a follower of mine. She's a really good writer. She just wrote her book recently. Well, she's written a book before, but she just wrote like her kind of like her autobiography. But what's so dope is that she hit me up on Twitter. She sent me a DM and she was like, "My publicist is trying to contact you. I want to send you my book." She was like, Issa Rae read the book, Courtney Love read the book, and she got, excerpts from them, basically of their opinion of the book. And she also, put it on there. So she sent me the book. So I'm really excited to read it. And I talked to her today. She lives in New York. And me and her had a long conversation. I was like, you know what? I've been so busy with just YouTube and editing. I said, I'm trying to find some time to crack open this book because I know there's a bunch of tea in here. And it's called Unwifeable. So it's getting ready to come out. When is it coming out? In April. It'll be out, but she ended up sending me a copy of her book, so I can't wait to read it. So, I do enjoy reading when I can. I probably do a lot of my reading online. I try and get some, what are those? Those audiobooks. I like those as well. Sometimes those are easier because I'm so busy and I'm out and about. So sometimes it's easier for me to just, listen to an audiobook, put in some headphones, and then, clean and just do different stuff. But yeah, those are my favorite books. And the reason why I like God Don't Like Ugly 1 and 2 is because the main character in there, and what she went through, with her being molested by her, I guess you could call the mother's roommate. And then come to find out the so-called roommate was not only molesting her at 11, but was also sleeping with her mother. But it's a deep book. And when I tell you her friend in that book, the little pretty light-skinned girl with the green eyes, because you would have never thought they'd be friends. They were on two different, ends of the spectrum. The main character was like, big, black, and fat. She had real low self-esteem because the same man who was molesting her was down on her all the damn time. But that little girl ended up seeing beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And when she found out that her friend was being molested, when I tell you them two little girls put in work, y'all got to read that book. If y'all have not read God Don't Like Ugly 1 and 2, that book is deep. When I tell you that is a ride or die best friend, honey, I want a best friend like that, okay? Let me read these comments here. So Shanora says, "You're right about the Monopoly game. I specifically try to target black businesses to support." Yup, definitely have to do that. She says, "LOL, my mom is short and light too. My dad is dark skinned like me." Isn't that funny how that works out? My dad is the dark skinned one. She says, "I grew up with a lot of white people in school, so I had colorism issues as well." Yeah, it's very, very real. And even in this day and age. I had a really good time in here with you guys. So let me ask you guys before I go, because we've been on here for about an hour and 22 minutes. Um, Cassandra says, "Do you have any tips for traveling alone?" Who? I travel everywhere by myself. I like traveling with my kids though. It's just fun. Like I'm always harassing them on the plane, like when they fall asleep and stuff. I'm always like tickling their ears and taking crazy pictures of them. Like it's fun traveling with kids if they're a certain age. Okay, not little babies. But tips for traveling alone. Okay, so let's say you want to plan a trip to New York City. One of the best tips is to research things that you want to hit Because what often happens to people when they travel alone is that they'll get so hyped and be like, okay, I'm gonna go to Myrtle Beach and I'm gonna just show up, and they end up staying in their hotel room. Get out and meet people. Look for popular destination spots. Like Coney Island, um, just different things that you can do in New York or whatever city, and make sure that you go to those areas. And when you're there, don't just be the lone traveler with the camera. Talk to people. Walk up, say hi. How you doing? Smile. I mean, you'll be able to meet so many people. Like, I'm always roaming around somewhere by myself. Like, especially when I was in LA, I was always be at like Santa Monica Beach. And I'm just literally walking around, enjoying the beach. But I would have some of the most interesting conversations with just random people. And they didn't know I was Lovely T. I don't go out there like, hey, I'm Lovely T, the YouTuber. I never, ever carry myself like that. You would not even know who I am unless you recognize me. I would never bring it up. But I've had some of the most interesting conversations with people just traveling by myself, and asking them, oh, what are you doing here? Or, are you on vacation? What are some really good spots to see? So always have like a destination point in mind. Research it, research the area, research things that you can do, and talk to people. Because if you're by yourself, you have nobody else to hang with any damn way. So talk to the people there, talk to the people in the area, what I'm saying? Take in the auras and the vibes and everything else. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with traveling by yourself. I used to think that, if you travel by yourself, you're a loser, you have no friends. But honestly, it's a lot easier because you don't have to worry about somebody else and, what they want to do. You can just go out and do you. So it's definitely fun traveling by yourself. I have no problems with that. Feel free to judge me. I'm a lone traveler, so don't feel bad at all, Cassandra. So I want to ask y'all, let me see here. I want to ask you guys, so as far as Patreon goes, I'm still trying to figure out everything with Patreon. And I want to get some tips because I know you guys donate per month and I really appreciate it. I'm just the type, I don't like promising anything because I know people be like, oh, if you join my Patreon, you'll get this, this, and that. I have so much going on. I don't want to promise anything and then don't deliver. And then I'm getting, T done made a Patreon and promised me a shirt and I didn't get shit. I don't want to see those videos. So I don't have any type of levels, tiers, none of that stuff. But I still want to do something for the Patreon people because you guys are very important because you guys are paying every month. So I know one of the suggestions I got in the comment section is that you guys should be allowed to see my YouTube videos first. Do y'all agree with that? Because if that's something that you guys want, I can definitely do that. So what I can do is when I make my new YouTube videos, because y'all know the first crew, they're going to be mad. Because y'all know people love jumping in the comment section and screaming first. They're going to be hot. But I don't know if they pay or if they don't pay. Y'all are the most important because y'all pay every month. So what I can do is when I shoot a video, I will post it on Patreon for y'all first. And I'll leave it up on Patreon for like the first 30 minutes to an hour. And then at that point, I can make it public for the rest of YouTube. So if that's something that you guys want me to do, I can definitely do that. Leo says, I love to travel myself. Dark Princess says yes. Okay, so you guys agree with that. Okay. So I can definitely put the videos on Patreon first for you guys. You guys get first dibs on the videos. You guys get first comments and things like that on the video. Because like I said, I'm just trying to find out little things to do, with my Patreon. Because it's very hard just trying to manage everything. It's hard managing YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, my fan page, all that stuff. But I don't want to let this page go by the wayside because, again, you guys are the ones who are really supporting me. You guys are putting your money where your mouth is. So I apologize. I haven't done enough on this page. But just a lot of that is just being busy and not really understanding like how to work the Patreon. But Phil has been really helping me out and giving me some good advice. Matter of fact, me and him did like a whole practice live stream. Like he was teaching me how to set up the live stream because I was coming up with the creations for the backdrops and I was working with a graphic artist to do that for me. So I was busy with that, but we literally sat here and worked on one of the applications and we did a 3-hour live stream, me and Phil. So he's been really helping out with just trying to give me advice. You know, he's a really good person as far. He's not called Advice Show for nothing, okay? Let's just say that, okay? So he was helping me figure out the live stream, so that's why I'm here now. I want to do these live streams with you guys at least once a week. I don't have a specific day, but I'm thinking maybe Thursday-ish, because I'm trying to figure out when it's not going to be busy with other YouTubers that create content, because I know a lot of YouTubers do live stream, and so I don't want to do a live stream if your faves are doing a live stream. I don't want to step on anybody else's toes, so I kind of want to find a day that's not too busy where I can pop up and do a live stream. So what days work for you guys? So just let me know. Throw some ideas here in the comment section, like what times would you guys like to see the live stream? I know you guys are all over the world. There will most likely be evenings, would be good for me. I'm thinking maybe 6 to 7 p.m. starting the live streams, and I'm in Central Standard Time right now. So that's what I'm thinking. Dark Princess says, you and Phil are my favorite YouTubers. So when I found out you guys were friends, I was so happy. Yeah, that is my buddy right there. I'm cool with a lot of YouTubers on the back end, but Phil is one that I talk to often. You know, he knows my situations, the stuff I be going through on the back end. And, we've been friends for a long time. And how I knew that Phil was a genuine person, I'm going to tell you how me and him first started chopping it up. Because before, I didn't fool with nobody on YouTube. I didn't really talk to anybody. I kind of kept to myself, made my videos, and I would keep it moving. And I remember there was some mess going on where YouTube was deleting people's channels because of metadata tags. And I didn't know what the hell a metadata tag was. And so he sent me a message on Twitter. And, I ran across his videos once or twice. I really didn't know much about him. I think at that time he was beefing with like another YouTuber who would name, anonymous. We never mentioned his name. And so he hit me up and he was like, I don't know if you know what's going on, but you might want to change your metadata tags because they deleted Timothy De La Ghetto's channel. And I was subscribed to Timothy De La Ghetto. So I'm like, what? He was like one of my favorite YouTubers. I used to watch him all the time. And so he was trying to explain it to me on Twitter. And I'm like, I just didn't get it. When you're typing, it's hard. I said, well, can I give you my phone number and can you just call me? And he was like, yeah. And so he called me. And we just been cool ever since then. This was like back in like 2012. And we've been cool ever since then. And, that's the stuff I respect. Instead of him having some information and hoarding it to himself and saying, oh, well, if her channel gets deleted, oh, well, that's more people coming to me. He didn't do that. He reached out to me as another Black creator making content, was like, do you know that this is going on? Do you know about this? You might want to change this so that way your channel's not affected. And he walked me through the steps to fix that. So that's when I knew he was genuine, because sometimes, as people, and it doesn't mean as Black people, but just people in general, when we have information, we like to keep it to ourselves. We don't like to share shit, because we're so scared that somebody else is going to step on our toes or be great. We're scared to let other people be great. And that's not how you get your blessings. You get your blessings by, each one teach one, by looking out for other people. So anytime I have information that can help another YouTuber out, or if they need advice, they know they can hit me up. They can DM me. Certain YouTubers, I have their phone number and we'll chop it up. I know Tasha was going through some stuff a few weeks ago, and she reached out to me. She was like, can I please talk to you? Her channel's growing bigger, so she needed some advice. And I told her, you're at that spot now where you're over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube is watching you now. You're starting to get traction with that, with the good. You got your plaque. With the good comes the bad. With more subscribers comes more haters, more trolls. So I was just kind of telling her, what to expect and how to navigate that, and encouraging her to keep doing her thing. I'm saying? Keep shining, keep sipping that wine. There's no hate, there's no competition over here. She sips wine, I sip my tea. I love her videos. She's a beautiful woman. She has a beautiful personality. And, that's how it should be. I'm saying? That's why a lot of the people who have issues with me on YouTube, which I don't know because I don't know any of these people personally, they're mad because I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with their content. Their content is dry. They don't put any work into their content, and they're disingenuous people. So before I ever reach out to people, before I ever put my neck out on the line for somebody, I watch their moves. I watch everything. Like I tell people all the time, I don't miss shit on social media. I watch people. I'm a people watcher. And if I see that you're messy, and all you do is harass other black people, and all your videos are negative, and you're always going in on people, and you know, and always beefing with other YouTubers, why would I engage with you? Why would I reach out to you? It doesn't make any sense. So I watch people and I watch the moves that they make. And then at that point, when I feel comfortable, I reach out to them. So, and that's how me and Phil became cool. So he's a very, very genuine person. And, he's really big on trying to bring the community together and, trying to do stuff. And you have people like talking that mush mouth shit, trying to shame him for what he's doing. And especially with him, he has a good thing going on with his Patreon fans and the people who are helping him on Patreon. And I respect that, you know what I'm saying? And I support him as well, because y'all don't realize it takes a lot of work to bring this content and to do the research and stuff like that. So when people sit there and they're mad about us having Patreons, it doesn't make any sense, because you have certified millionaires on YouTube, like, Philip DeFranco, who I'm friends with. He's cool. We've met each other. But he's a millionaire and he has a Patreon. But you don't see other black people going at him and saying, why do you have a Patreon with, 10,000 or 20,000 patrons and you're a millionaire? But we have a few thousand, not even maybe 1,200 to 3,000 Patreons, and somehow, it's a bad thing. It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't fool with people who have that type of mentality. I like to fool with people who are trying to build for themselves, who are trying to grind, who are putting out decent content. So those are the YouTubers that I reach out to. Those are the people that I put my energy into. The ones who aren't doing anything but being negative and being mush mouth talkers, I just ignore them. I don't pay them no mind, and they can make all their hate videos. That's fine. It just makes me feel like I'm Beyonce. Because, everybody hates Beyonce, honey. She has a lot of haters. So let me see here. What are the dates? So somebody said Thursdays are nice. Somebody else says Sundays. Okay, I didn't even think about that. Dark Princess says, what time is it where you're at now? It is 6:54, so it's almost 7 o'clock here in Minnesota. Let's see, what else here? Nia said, I don't need a gift. I do it to reward your hard work. I think the Patreon First Crew is a good incentive for people to donate. Get that coin, mama. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. If we're working or can't make it on time, we're still able to watch it. Yeah. Yup, you will still be able to watch it. I don't really comment on your content, but I love the live stream. It's more personable. I'll try to roll with whatever time of day works. I'm on Eastern time. Okay. And Wednesday. Okay, so Devin says Wednesdays are good for him. R. Parker said it is 9:55 a.m. in Japan. Oh my goodness. I'm fine catching it when the notification comes between Thursday and Sundays would be nice though. Oh my good, y'all are everywhere. That is so awesome. Like when I was a kid, you could not have told me when I was younger that I would ever, I don't know, like be able to like reach people on whole other parts of the world. Like I've had emails from people literally from countries I've never heard of. I had to Google the country, like, where is this? And it's like this little island in like the I don't know, in like the Pacific Ocean or something. I don't know. And it's just like, oh my God, like you watch my videos? Like you could have never told me that as a kid. That, I don't know, like I'm just humbled. Like for real, I'm just so humbled that so many people around the world be like, I watch you and I'm in Paris. Like the UK people, it's always funny because they're like, especially when I make late night videos, because they're already up. So they're like, we're sipping our morning tea with your tea. I love my UK fans. Oh my, okay, so a lot of people are saying Wednesday. Okay, cool. So maybe we can do Wednesdays about 6-ish. And as I get more comfortable, I can do more days. So if I get more comfortable, I can do maybe Wednesdays and Sundays. But I just don't want to stretch myself too thin, by promising a whole bunch of live streams and then y'all come and there's no live streams. So let's just start with one day. So we'll start with Wednesdays, and I'll make sure, let me put my notes in. I take notes. I got a new phone. The screen ain't cracked, honey. I feel good. This is how much I love my subscribers. Let me show y'all something here. See if y'all can see this. Do y'all see this little girl on here? It's a drawing that one of my Instagram fans made of me. It was an outfit I wore to the J. Cole concert, and Mr. Ferg drew this cartoon picture of me, and I love it. And that is my screensaver. And then when you lock it, I'm going to show you something else. Let me see if I can. This is another picture that one of my subscribers made for me. And it's me when I used to rock my afro. Flo made that. So I keep y'all's artwork, honey. I do. No diva over here. I'm looking at the picture. Isn't she gorgeous? So I'm going to take a note. So that way, everything we discussed, I have it here. I don't want to forget anything. Okay. So Wednesdays, 6 p.m. It'll be between 6 or 7. So 6 or 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we also stated that you guys will get first dibs on the videos. Okay. So now what else? Let me think. Okay, African Queen says weekend, evenings. Thanks for the advice. Okay. Time zone. I'm in I'm in Minneapolis right now, so it's Central Standard. So right now it's literally turning 7 o'clock. Oh, okay, and then this is what else I'm working on for you guys as well, before I forget. Because I've been on here for almost 2 hours. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. So before I forget, got my little note thing. And yes, my note is pink. They didn't have it in purple, so it's pink. But I've been trying to get interviews for you guys. And I did an interview, and I will be posting it on here. I don't know if I'm going to make it public on YouTube yet, but you guys will definitely get it first. I interviewed Michael Jai White the other day because he's working on an independent film. It's a Western movie. It's like one of those Spaghetti Junction, kind of comedic Western movies. And the reason why I really wanted to interview him is because I love the fact that he was doing a crowdfunding. He has his own production company called Gigantic Productions. And so I think he put up like $1 million of his own money into this. But he also is asking his fans to put up money as well. And he's a phenomenal actor. He's been doing martial arts for like 20 years. It was really dope interviewing him. I interviewed him this past Wednesday. I just need to finish editing the video, and I will post it on here on Patreon for you guys. So that's another thing I'm going to be giving y'all as well is, exclusive interviews. Like I said, I'll eventually post it on YouTube, but you guys will have it for at least a few days where you guys can get a chance to check it out and everything else. And so if there's anybody that you guys want me to interview, let me know. Because I'm working with a publicist right now. So they've been trying to contact different people. Somebody from MMG wants me to interview them. Can you believe it? But I told them I want to kind of hold off, because I want to listen to their particular music. I want to listen to them more and know more about them before, I interview them. I want to be really comfortable. I don't want to interview somebody and it's awkward. You know what I'm saying? I have to really research that person. So I'm definitely working on a bunch of interviews with different people. So if there's anybody that you want to particularly, if there's anyone that you want to see in particular, let me know. Please do not say Beyonce. Please do not say Rihanna. Okay, we're talking about, not mega stars. They're not going to interview with me. Be realistic, okay? Reality TV people, mid-sized actors and actresses. Don't be like, hey, you should interview Jay-Z. I would love to, but I don't think he's fooling with the T-Hive, okay? He's all about the beehive. Let's go ahead and read these comments real quick. Hey, Danielle McKenzie. Hey, Felicia Coleman. I see new people coming in. So she says a once a month merch giveaway on merch. Okay, Danielle. I like that. Let me okay. I got my notes. I told y'all I want y'all to help me with this Patreon thing. I want to do what, I want to look out for y'all. So once a month, give away our merchandise. I can do that, sis. That's a great idea. And you know what? Matter of fact, I got some for you just for that idea, Danielle. I got you. Tay, Tay, that baby sleep. I'll be right back. I'm so hood. I'll be right back. I got something for you, Danielle. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I went to go get. I'm redoing my set. So me and the boys have been redoing my set here. So I had ordered some more coffee mugs, to use them as placements and stuff like that. So I have a box, and there's 3 left. They haven't been open, so we can do a merch giveaway right now. This, let me see. This is a Dragon Ball T mug. So Danielle, there you go, sis. I need your address. So send me your address on here, and I will send you that coffee mug. I had to run upstairs. So I had to make sure that they were still there, and to see how many was in there. Cause I know I ordered like 3 different ones. So Danielle, send me your info. That was a really good idea. That was an excellent idea. So I put that in my phone. So we'll do the giveaway once a month. Any other ideas before I leave? The Black Panther cast. I would love to interview Ryan Coogler. I did put a request in. I don't know if he would, interview with me. I would love to interview him. I know everybody's probably like, you need to be interviewing Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger. No, he's fine. But no, I really want to, interview Ryan Coogler because he's the writer and the director. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the behind the scenes people. And you don't hear from him as much. You hear a little bit from him, but not like, the stars of the movie. I want to hear from the director and the producer and the writer. I want to hear from Ryan Coogler. I would love to interview him. I'm so proud of him. I would also love to interview Jordan Peele. But he'll probably charge me $1,000 to interview him or something. But I would love to interview people who do things behind the scenes. Like, that's what I really want to encourage this generation of kids to do, because they're so used to being in front of the camera. They all want to be famous. And I keep trying to let them know the money is behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? So. Gil said that's dope. I always have stuff around here. Dark Princess said I bought one of the Sippin' Tea t-shirts. Oh, that's awesome. Interview the host from the Grapevine. I don't know too much about her. I would have to really research. I don't know too much about her. But that might be an interesting interview to see why she did the roundtable discussion and how she feels about it. Because I know she was getting attacked really bad on social media yesterday. They were going in on her on Twitter, and I know she was trying to defend herself for why she did the roundtable discussion. I don't know. That roundtable was crazy. But I think a lot of people, they only watch what the one lady said. Sensei, I think that's her name. They only watched what she said, but she made a lot of good points besides the whole, she would bake a cake if Bruno Mars died. She made a lot of really good points. But there were people who were also defending Bruno Mars as well. But of course, nobody was really talking about that besides me. It's like people just focused on the negative and just made it sound like it was a bunch of black people in the room just hating on this racially ambiguous man, when there were a lot of people in that room who also were defending him and who also had his back. But again, a lot of us don't watch stuff all the way through. We'll watch a quick snippet. We'll watch a viral video that's like a minute long, and then we'll come to this whole consensus. But how can you do that when you haven't watched the full thing? So it might be interesting to interview her. I'll think about that. You're welcome, Danielle. Oh yeah, M'Baku. Ooh. I'm still feeling him. Yeah, it would be nice to interview him. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. But yeah, no, you guys gave me like a lot of really good ideas. So no, definitely we can do that. It's a new month, so Danielle will automatically get this. So then, what I can probably do, maybe this is what I'll do near the end of the month, because my t-shirts are available for I think like 13 days. So what I will do, I will give away one of the conspiracy teas t-shirts. So that will be the monthly giveaway for the Patreon for this month. So this mug that Danielle won, it doesn't count. That's just for her giving me that idea. I just thought that was awesome. But so I'll give away one of the conspiracy tea t-shirts. And I just ordered my sweatshirt in that. I ordered it in red, so the lightning bolts stick out. And I also got the Sippin' It sweatshirt as well. So I cannot wait. Yes, I buy my own merchandise. Don't judge me. I mean, how can I tell y'all to buy my merchandise and I'm not out here supporting my stuff and rocking it and everything else? So yes, I do buy my own merch. No shame here, boo. So yeah, I'll get a sweatshirt for the winner. So the winner will have to tell me their size, and then I'll order the sweatshirt for you and then send it to you. So yeah, that was a really awesome idea. That was a real awesome idea. You can see here. Any more comments? All right, so we've been on here now at 7:09. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. I can't believe how fast, it's been an hour and 50 minutes, and it's just flown by. I like this. I like the fact this was really intimate. There's only like 24 people here, and I love that. Because usually when I go live on YouTube, it's literally like 2,000, 3,000 people, and it's just kind of overwhelming at times. So I definitely like that. I mean, I will do some live streams for like my regular YouTube audience as well, but I like doing these intimate chats with you guys. So these intimate chats and stuff like that, and like, questions that you guys can ask me, I definitely like doing that here with you all. And then maybe like some of like the more viral stories or just really crazy social media stuff, I can do live streams with the YouTube audience on that. But the more intimate stuff will be for you guys. So I definitely like this. I definitely like that it was a small crowd and you guys were here. So I thank you guys for coming through. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end the live stream. But we will do this again most likely Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and also edit that video with Michael Jai White, and that should be up on Patreon. Give me about 2 hours, and it should be up for you guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much once again for joining my video session. And it'll be more structured next time. I'll give you guys advance notice, but I just need to figure out how everything works. So, and thank you so much, Phil, for helping me. And thank you, Devin, for being the moderator. And shout out to everybody who stopped through. I really appreciate it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.